Hello everyone, I'm Rémi Foult. I like to say welcome to everyone to Cannes. I hope you're enjoying as part of the member of the board of Ethereum France. I hope you're enjoying the venue in Cannes. I hope you like it. But let's dive in. So I'm here to present Lagoon.finance. It's a vault infrastructure for curator and asset managers. So I'm going to do a vault deployment demo. We're going to deploy a real vault on a base. But before that, I'm going to explain a little bit what it's about. So what we've seen over the last year is this will to abstract the complexity of DeFi away from users. And we do that through one-click deposit experience through vaults. So the goal really is that a professional handles the complex stuff and users they just have to deposit one click and forget, and the yield is generated. And of course, the managers or curators can take fees for this work. So what are the different use cases of a Lagoon Vault? So a Lagoon Vault is like an on-chain fund where user can deposit and withdraw, and a manager is in charge of generating the yield. So it's giving the yield opportunity to user, and also for curator, it's a way to get in some flows on chain. So it's a DeFi protocol that want to launch a new product for their users. It's a new chain pre-deposit campaigns. It's for asset manager, for curators, for family offices, for agent, for Robinhood, stock trader since yesterday on Arbitrum. If you want to manage your friends and family, if you're really good at generating yield and have a very good DeFi strategy or even off-chain, it's permissionless, you can create a Lagoon Vault. So what is a Lagoon Vault? So it's a general purpose vault, meaning user deposit and underlying a manager is in charge of generating the yield. So we follow the ERC 7540 standard. So it's a standard that inherits from the 4626 vault standard, but it's asynchronous, meaning user request deposit and request withdraw, and you have to wait for a settlement from the asset manager in order for your deposit or your withdrawal to be completed. It's EVM compatible, deploy on the main chain anywhere, and then the manager can deploy funds everywhere. You can run any strategy on or off chain, SexDex arbitrage, AE-powered, A-agent strategy, stock trading, an Arbitrum, RWA, yield farming, directional, whatever way to generate some yield. Manager can put custom fees, so management fees, performance fees. There is role-based permission and any wallet compatibility. So what we usually recommend is using safe multisig plus permission like a Zodiac role modifier module. But you can also use MPC wallets such as Fireblocks, 4DeFi, BlockDaemon with permissions of your choice. So you can really choose your custody solution, your institutional custody. So if we look a little bit deeper at the architecture, we build the vault. User deposit and withdraw, so they request deposit and request withdraw because it's asynchronous. There is an option for synchronous deposit, but it's in a certain use case. So you have to wait for a valuation from the valuation provider. Then the curation safe, so this is where the trading or the farming or the yield generation would happen, would have to do a settlement. So there is when the curator does a settlement, there is a netting between deposit and withdrawal. And if there is more deposit than withdrawal, some underlying of the vault will go from the vault to the curation safe. And if it's the other way around, some underlying will go from the curation safe to the vault for redemption. So this is what a deposit flow would look like. User request deposit. The price oracle will propose a valuation. The valuation is accepted by the curator, and then the user can claim its shares. He doesn't have to claim its share, it's just for composability. If he wants his ERC20, which is the share of the vault, he can claim it. But he can never claim it through the life cycle of the vault and just claim and redeem whenever he wants to exit. And it's kind of the same for the redeem flow. So user request redemption, the price oracle propose a valuation, the curator accepts the valuation and makes the liquidity in order for the redemption to be possible. So he has to possibly to unwind some position and to make some underlying in the curation safe, and then the user can do its redemption. So we are going to do all that. So when we are going to create a vault, what we actually do is we have a factory, and you're going to deploy a vault proxy, which will point to a beacon, because it's the implementation can be changed, it's upgradable contracts, and the beacon points to the logic. So what you deploy is a vault proxy, where there is your custom storage for your vault, which points to the logic, which can be changed later, opt-in. So let's try to deploy a vault. So in order to deploy a vault, I will go to lagoon.finance, click on the docs, and maybe it's more. Do you see like this? Yeah, okay. Create your vault. So there is all the instruction, but I'm going to do it. So let's deploy on base, because they're a sponsor, of course. So you can deploy from any wallet, and actually this wallet doesn't have any role, so it doesn't matter too much. So let's just connect an Etherscan. And let's see what are the fields. So first, you have to choose the underlying of the vault. So it is the asset in which user deposit and request redemption. And also, it's the unit of account of your vault, meaning all the valuation will have to be in this asset. So, base. So let's take USDC, for example. What is USDC address? It's this one. Okay. Name. It's CC USDC vault. So the name is the name of your ERC20 name. The symbol is also the symbol of your ERC20. So ETC USD, let's say. A new currency, ETC USD. You will be able to buy your ticket with ETC USD. So the safe is actually where the trading by the curator will be done. So I have an address for this. Curation safe. Okay. So whitelist manager is if you want to gate your vault to a set of addresses. If you don't want to, you can put the 0 address as described in the doc. So the doc is here actually. And let's see where is it. It's here. Okay. Whitelist. Valuation manager. So it's the address in charge of the valuation of the asset in the vault. So let's put this one. Admin. It's the one who will be in charge of roles. Fee receiver. So the address which will receive the fee of the curation.
Can you zoom a little bit, please, Rémi? Zoom in.
Zoom. Yeah, sure. So management fees. Who likes management fees? You like fees? I don't. 0. Performance fees, like real managers take only performance fees. If they do performance, they take a fee. If they don't, they don't. So you put in a base point. So 10%. 10% is 1,000 base points. So enable whitelist. No, we let everybody open this vault, access this vault. Rate update cooldown is the time in which if you change the fees before it's taken into account. So let's put 0. And the salt to have deterministic addresses. Let's put whatever. And let's deploy. Where is my ledger? No, it's a hot wallet. So let's see the transaction. Where is it? Okay, it's here. So let's check. Two contracts are created actually. So I told you the vault was one contract, but it's two. So it's the vault and a silo. So the silo is just used for accounting, meaning when user request deposit and request withdraw, they will send it to this silo contract. So it's a little solidity hack in order to make accountability easier. So this is actually the vault. So let's go into the doc. So when I create my vault, how do I access it? So I just use this address. Who knows the chain ID of base? Comment? 8453. 8453. Thank you. Wait. Here I copy again. Okay. Here is our vault. It's here. Who wants to deposit? Okay. So there are some post-deployment operations which you should do. So let's see. My contract is verified. Thank you, Julien. Actually, it's not Julien who just verifies the contract. It's a bot. So let's tell him that, is this a proxy? Yes, it's a proxy. Click verify, save. Okay, it's done. So actually, when you do that, you tell Etherscan that your contract that you've deployed is a proxy, and he will detect automatically the implementation. And now you can read as proxy and write as proxy for the functions that are not in the UI. So let's deposit, right? So where is my vault? It's here. So let's save it in case I lose the URL. So let's connect with a user which has some USDC. Okay, let's deposit 10. Approve infinite. You should never do that. In your all warnings, of course, you should never do that. Please read them. And finally, deposit when it's approved. Okay, so you can see we did a request deposit, 10 USDC were sent, so it's cool. And so now, before my deposit gets really into the vault, it has to be settled by the manager. So let's first connect with the valuation manager. So there is a new button for him. So the first valuation should always be 0 because there is 0 in the beginning. Okay. Give me a little time to drink. Oh, plus gros. Okay, the valuation is proposed. So now it has to be settled, so accepted by the manager. Let's go. Did I change my wallet? No. No, it's exactly the same. Yes. Now, okay, now it shows I'm the curator. Nice. So now I can settle the deposit. So did somebody deposit 1 USDC? Okay. I see 11. I'm like, what? Is it a bug? How did you even find the address? Okay, so let's settle the two deposits. Thank you to the generous depositor over there. And let's wait a little bit. Okay, looks like it's done. So let's look at what happened. Okay, so we have two deposits, evaluation, and the settlement. So now, so if we look on the debunk link, for example, you can see that in the curation safe, so in the manager address, so there is 11 USDC. So this is what we wanted. So now the curator can do all sorts of stuff with this money. So of course, we recommend that the curator has role-based access and is only able to do certain type of calls with contract, function, and parameters. So that can be done with Safe plus Zodiac or with MPC wallets. So we are just going now to do the redemption flow. So Henri, if you could withdraw the money you put in, that would be great, because I'm not ever going to touch this vault again, ever again. It's for test purposes. So let's request a redemption. So I go with the user wallet. So I can claim my share if I want, but I don't have to. I can send it to someone else. I can like you do composability in DeFi, use it as collateral, put it in wherever, but I'm not going to do that. So I can withdraw in share or in underlying, and it will try to approximate how much I want to withdraw. So I withdraw everything. Okay. So now it shows that I have a withdraw request. So I have to wait for the curator to settle my redemption. So actually, it's a little protection, and some of our users, they kind of like it, that even if they get hacked or kidnapped or anything, like the thief cannot take their money without the curator approves their redemption and everything. So it's a little extra protection, but also other trust assumption to the curator. So let's do another nav. So you always need to do evaluation. So here is the simulation of the nav for the valuation committee. So for example, if like the asset manager is super strong and he's able to double the money, then he will be able to take a fee here. And the price per share would go up. So as you notice, if the manager makes 100% of performance, the price per share would go to 1.9 and not to 2. Why is that? Because fees are done with minting extra shares. So that's why. But we are not going to do that. The manager did 0 performance. Okay. Okay, now we settle it with the curator wallet. Oh, I forget to approve from the curation safe to the vault. So this is an extra step I need to do. So this address needs to, I need to do an approve on USDC. So let's do it the old-fashioned way on Etherscan, base scan actually. And the infinite, let's approve infinite this time.
What are you doing now?
So I'm approving USDC on the vault, on the safe wallet. So the vault has the right to pull some USDC for redemption from the curation wallet back to the vault. This is for redemption. So the infinite number is in the doc. Okay, the spender is the vault, so 0x956. Yeah, looks like it's a good one. Let's approve. So now it's working in simulation. Okay. So let's settle also now. So when I settle, the USDC are going back from the safe to the vault. Okay, so it's done. And now I can connect back with my user wallet and try to redeem. And the other generous user can also redeem in the corner. So withdraw your assets, and he would get his 10 USDC back. Okay, so this is the end of the demo. So we have 5-10 more minutes for question if you have any. So thank you.
Any question in the room?
Good practices and approaches for NAV calculation. So what are my options there?
Yes, good question. So we have different clients and some have a different approach. So you can use services like Octave and Debunk if you want. Some other use a spreadsheet and do everything manually. And some other build their custom tooling solution, like a script to calculate every position in DeFi. And there are also some specialist NAV providers, such as Oracle and others, which are doing this job.
And I can have a multi-party NAV calculation for them to sync between the two and choose on the one I want.
So you can also have a multi-sig as a NAV provider and have multiple parties agree on a NAV. But from the Lagoon point of view, the NAV committee is one address, and it's a two-step process. First, it has to be inputted, the valuation, and then it has to be accepted by the curator.
And why such a setup? Why is it like this? A two-step?
Yeah. So if there is a miscalculation and the manager doesn't approve of the NAV can be another NAV, and it can be recomputed and a new input. And the curator always have to settle on the last NAV, which is proposed by the valuation committee, valuation manager.
Is there some risk if the curator and the valuation provider collude together, if they are the same entities?
Yes, so there are trust assumptions to your curator. So always, like if someone is going to manage your funds, there are some trust assumptions. Mm-hmm. So it's trust assumption between the valuation. So this is why it's good to have a good separation of power between the fund admin in charge of the valuation, the asset manager who is doing the management, and also probably the entity which is in charge of setting the permission of the curation wallet. But if all those parties collude together, they can rug your fund, yes.
Hello, great talk. This reminds me a bit of Enzyme. Maybe I'm mistaken. But how do you compare to them?
Yes, so Enzyme was the first in the space to do on-chain funds, but we have a different approach from them. in Enzyme, the nav is done on chain, and you need a new connector to be built for each new protocol and every new pool, which is accessible to the curator. And also we have this party pre of doing asynchronous deposit and withdrawal, because we think it, so first of all, it's how it's done in TradFi, and also it's decrease the attack surface to the minimum.
Thank you.
Given that there's custody of the funds with the curator, do you have any idea about what regulatory requirements are for a curator?
I think regulatory requirements are the same as any asset management company, meaning like if you want to accept funds from in a jurisdiction where there is asset management license, you should get it, or you should get them, if it's not completely permissionless. So if you don't renounce your wallet and you just have certain permission, which shows that you cannot transfer the funds to your own wallet, then you should totally get a license if you are like in Europe or in the US. That being said, there are all sorts of vaults in DeFi with curators doing permissionless asset management anyway. So some people do it anyway. But in Lagoon, you can choose your own setup. You can have permissionless vault, or you can KYC everyone, have a license, and only allow a certain set of address to deposit and withdraw into your vault.
Okay.
Thank you for the talk. Is the curator bound at all in terms of his liquidity management, where if ever there's some non-liquid stuff in the underlying safe, like TAC rewards that are only going to become liquid 6, 9, 12 months from now, at some point, if like there seems to me there's a bank run risk where everyone withdraws the liquid stuff and then everyone else is left with a claim on future rewards that are not sellable, not transferable. What's the right way to think about that?
Yeah, so we have different curators that also some are yield farming some points. And what we notice they do is they don't put them in the nav. They show on the UI that points are accounted and are accrued and will be distributed later as dividend. They are going to be airdropped as shares later on when the airdrop materialize. So we have some tooling, open source, available for curators, so they can track, they can store every day how much points they earn, and we can have a contribution of each addresses, each LP, how much they contribute to the point, and then distribute it fairly to LPs afterward when the airdrop materialize. Even if you have an LP which left the vault at the time of the airdrop, he will still get his shares.
And is that kind of trustless Merkle distributor type thing, or no? It's just the curator at the time will just send all the rewards to whoever.
Yeah, it's totally manual. So the curator will stand it via disperse or similar tooling. But yeah, but he can. So some curators they have shown like their inputs. The script is open source, so you can rerun the script, and you can challenge the distribution if you're like not happy. All good?
What additional tooling do you provide for curators? And what's there now, and what's the plan for the future?
So out of the box, we have the Lagoon kit, which is a Zodiac role modifier development kit. If you want to do custom permission for your curator to be able to do the basic vault operation, meaning settle and close the vault and the basic operation, and also a list of default protocol that we allow and some examples. We have also a tooling for like having an output as CSV with all the previous nav, the historic nav, and to compute some performance to edit like a monthly performance, for example. And this is all I can think of right now, but maybe there are other, and I see the team looking at me and making all sorts of signs. So, but thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Merci beaucoup.